Yeah.
really.
Yeah, fair enough. And I wanted to ask as well, another thing we get asked quite a lot about is success, and people have weird kind of views of success. And I wanted to ask you, well, how do you, do you think much about success? How do you define it as someone that has had that, incredible success? We'll keep saying the word over the time, in various outfits, and you're still touring the world. How do you define success? What does that word mean to you nowadays?
But it's not really something I think of.
Right.
I think success for me. I'm good friends with Clem Burke. He plays on a couple of tracks on my album. He's staying with me at the moment, but he's gone out for a jog, right? And we're doing this little tour. But we chat about it, and he says he's had a lot, maybe a bit more success than me with Blondie, although now I'm playing with Blondie too. But
Yeah.
he's always said, and I agree with him, he's always just wanted to be a working musician, which I have, and I've wanted to be a working musician stroke songwriter, which
Yeah.
I have been. That's kind of enough in itself.
Mm.
And there's reward within itself that you get to make another record, or nobody was knocking down the doors for me to make an album. I wanted to make one, so I begged, borrowed, and did some deals with some people on some studio time, and then, I feel like I'm a startup artist myself, believe it or not, but that's the way it is,
Yeah. Interesting take,
I'm
actually.
not Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
I know. I forgive you if you might thought I am, but
Well, it's, a little bit of an inkling. Yeah.
you
Yeah.
haven't seen what I got on the bottom half.
Well, I'm saying that's what these calls are for, mate. That's what these calls are for. I mean, if you were to, obviously there are young bands out there that look at your back catalogue and what you're doing now and what you've done previously, and there are obviously bands out there doing very well. Like Wargasm is an example of a band that are doing great at the moment.
Well, I've heard of them.
Yes, indeed. Well, if you were to say to a band, if you had like two or three golden rules for a band and artist that that people that look up to you and what you've done, and they go, if they were like I am, and they go, Glenn, what do I do? What mistakes should I not? What mistakes should I avoid making? If I want to write a record, tour the world, and what things should I do? If you could come up with two or three tips for any young musician who's trying to
All
make it
right.
at the moment.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking. I think one of the things is don't get a day job. Your day job should be your art, and if you can't eat, then you can't eat. That's
Right.
you got to take that one on the chin until you can earn enough money out of doing what you're doing.
Mm.
Or you got some good chums,
Mm.
There's that. Don't take no for an answer. You got to realise the music business, if that's what you're going to try and be in, is full of people taking the easy way out,
Right.
and just keeping their head down to keep their job. Lots
Yeah.
of A&R guys stay in the business because they don't actually sign anybody, so they don't lose any money for the record company, so they keep their job. And you got to do all the work for them, really. When you mention Orgasm, I know those guys. I know they put a lot of groundwork in, and they sort of presented the finished thing to their record company, their management. It's already a going concern. And these days, if you're a younger person, I kind of struggle with it and do what I can.
Mm.
But you've got the whole online thing, So in a way, it is a level playing field. You just got to be aware of that, really, and
Yeah.
kind of use it to your own benefit.
Yeah. Yeah.
If I really knew, I'd be not talking to you. I'd be in don't know, some kind of 1960s Reaver speedboat, classic wooden fast boat, off the Amalfi Coast. But actually, I wouldn't be. I'd be sitting somewhere writing a song.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I enjoy doing. I enjoy doing it. So.
Yeah, yeah. It's lovely to hear your enthusiasm is still there. I think I know the answer to the next question a little bit based on our success chat. But before we finish, I do want to ask you about the term legacy and whether you consider your legacy as an artist and as a person, and are they two different things? Do you think about who you are as a musician and who you are as a person a lot, and the legacy you want to leave, or does it not really register with you?
Thinking.
Take your
I
time.
don't know. I don't really ever think about a legacy. Maybe I've already created my legacy with the Pistols thing,
Yeah.
but that was a long, long time ago. And what actually drives me
Mm.
is to try and be known on my own terms as somebody who's still kind of contemporary
Yeah.
and not somebody who's lived off the past for the past 45 years, which I've always strove not to do, you know.
Mm.
And I think now some people are kind of thinking, actually, Glenn's pretty good, you know, he's still got his finger on the button. That's what drives me, really. So, legacy, no, your legacy is what you come up with and what you put out tomorrow, not what you did years ago.
Yeah, that's a good. I've never heard that answer. That's a good answer, man. Just
Well, I
again,
just made it up, but that's probably
it's about striving for, focusing on the future rather than focusing on the past. I think people can get a bit too stuck on what they should or
doff
shouldn't.
my cap to the past, but look to the future. That's
Yeah,
what I try and do.
yeah. I think
You
people
know,
can. Yeah, yeah. They can get stuck on it, can't they? People can get stuck on what they should or shouldn't have done in the past, or what they have done, and actually that can really interrupt the future sometimes. I think.
yeah, yeah. And also, I think if you're trying to be a musician,
Mm.
any success I've had is by sticking out like a sore thumb. You know, and if the Pistols had copied what was going on at the time, we would have probably been either a disco band or a like jazz rock kind of cocktail band, but we weren't. You know, and people can tell when you're for real. You know, if you
Yes.
try and copy people, they can tell that you copied it. And also, if you got something that, oh, we want to be just like them, by the time you've written a song, made a demo of it, go and convince somebody to put you in the studio properly and put it out. By the time you've done all that trying to sound like something you heard 6 months ago, you're too late.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's no point in doing that. You know,
Yeah. Onwards and forwards, Glenn. Absolutely. Absolutely.
hopefully.